was a place where I'd have parties. I didn't care if the kids stayed all night and slept there. But it's a different thing. I dig sleeping with people. I think it's wonderful to wake up in the morning, there's a whole bunch of people around. But people get the wrong idea. They really do. And it wasn't what they thought it was. Their parents thought it was a whorehouse or something. And it really wasn't. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all, really. Or I'm very sad. I'm not happy. But I have so many happy times, you know. Like, we went to a Love-In once, and they had a whole roast pig, 300 pounds, over a spit. And these people been cooking like for several days. And this Love-In was so fantastic. There was all the bike kids and the motorcycle people, and all of us hippies. And we all got along. There was no hassle. I'm happy that I've ever been. There was flowers all over their bikes, paper flowers. I'm not happy. There was had flowers almost every car in town. There's only about 300 people there. I won't be owned. I'm not a slave.
Didn't somebody tie you up the other day?
Yeah.
This is Gil from Ojai, California. Thank you for tuning into TBD on 91.1 KCSB FM in Santa Barbara. KCSB's fund drive is happening now, until the 24th of February, an entirely listener-supported station. Please consider making a donation at KCSB.org or by calling 805-893-22424 to keep the freeform airwaves free and receive a thank you gift in return. KCSB, 60 years of people-powered radio. Thanks to Ojai and the entire 805. Always keep it roots. And now, I'm proud to present my friends and fellow patriots, GIL.
Hey, what's up, everyone? You're currently tuned into the special fun drive edition of TBD. I'm joined by GIL out of Ojai, and we just heard their really sick performance for us. For those unaware, KCSB's fun drive is happening now until February 24th. KCSB is an entirely listener-supported station, so if TBD and KCSB mean anything to you, please consider making a donation at kcsb.org to keep the freeform airwaves free and receive a thank you gift in return. You can get some real cool things such as our annual community design t-shirt, KCSB tote bags, face masks, physical music, etc. This is KCSB's 60th year on air, giving ordinary people like Gil and I and underrepresented communities alike space on the airwaves and World Wide Web. So, like, seriously, if it weren't for KCSB, I would not be bringing artists from all over the world onto the show. So KCSB is 60 years of people-powered radio, and you can donate again at kcsb.org. So thanks for being here, guys. I'm really stoked to have you guys on the show.
Oh yeah, happy to be here, Nate. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, hell yeah. So how have you guys been holding up, I guess, during like COVID and stuff? You can't really play shows and stuff. So how have you adapted? Like, how do you like virtual gigs? The world has definitely been pretty chaotic outside of the music realm.
We've been handling it all right. You know, we all got different things going on, and we try to play as much as possible too. So we're still getting at it and writing music and carrying on as best anyone can, I reckon.
Hell yeah, that's sick. So I think it's been about a year since I've seen you guys at like Merton with Dioxane and Sutratma, and we were talking about this briefly before the interview started. But I believe your bass amp caught on fire. So like, what was up with that?
Yeah, so that was, I think, the second or third maybe bass amp that we had like lost during performances. And
Really? That's
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it might be a human error, but we might just also be a little bit cursed, you know, which is okay. We're kind of tapping into some dark mystical realms, so it's like it might be a product of that.
Yeah.
They found this, our buddy Rem actually had that Sun amp, which was like a 70s Sun amp that was previously modded by someone who maybe didn't really know what they were doing. So then that was another reason that I think it had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, damn, that's funny. But anyways, yeah, stoked to have you guys back on the show and stuff. So I guess like other than like, you know, music, do you guys have any like hobbies or other things that you've been into?
Well, Gabe just went surfing.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, Gabe.
Yeah, I was just surfing. I'm up here in Santa Cruz. It's raining out. Nice misty weather. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Hell yeah.
He's just real sweaty.
A real sweaty dude.
I was at the gym actually.
So
yeah, Elise is a wonderful ceramicist.
Oh yeah? What do you make? What kind of stuff do you make?
All sorts of things, mostly pottery though, like functional ceramics.
Oh, that's awesome. So like, you know, I guess coffee cups I feel like is a classic that I feel like, you know, people think of immediately.
One.
Oh, you made that one? That's awesome.
Or my friends did.
Oh, your friends did? That's sick. So do you have like a studio, or do you like go to a studio or something?
Yeah, I rent a studio space, but I haven't really been going there much because of COVID.
Yeah, I hear you. My mom used to do pottery a lot. She still does every now and then, but she was going to like the senior center. She was always the youngest person there. She was never really like, you know, one of the like old people, but she was like, yeah, dude, like you can use a kiln for like $10 a class or something like that. So she was always over there doing like crazy stuff.
Sarge works at Vaughn's, dude. That's pretty sick.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. How's that going for you?
It's all right. I mean, I know like everybody there because I live in the neighborhood that I work in.
Oh,
what neighborhood is that, Sage?
Live in Pierpont.
And 805 boys.
Where's Pierpont at?
It's in the beach in Ventura.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so
me and my girlfriend went to Ventura yesterday, and dude, the downtown was so packed. It was insane.
Dude, it's been hella packed over the weekend, like crazy. But
Dude.
It's always really packed.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't.
Ever since they changed the main street to like pedestrians only, been really packed.
Yeah, dude, it was gnarly. Like we were there, and I was like, dude, I feel like I've never seen downtown like this insanely packed before. You know what I'm saying? Like even like before COVID, like anything, I was like, dude, there's never this many people here. you know?
Nah, dude, COVID like totally brought that for sure, which is really ironic.
It's
like,
super
crazy.
ironic. I feel like me and my girlfriend were like, dude, I feel like this shouldn't be happening, but like, you know, whatever, I guess, you know?
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse for sure.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess before we get into the rest of the interview, I like to encourage our listeners to get involved in their community in some capacity as much as possible. And I've been asking the artists on the show to choose an organization from their community that they feel is important for our listeners to know about. So I know you guys chose like Street Watch LA. So what can you tell me about that?
Yeah, Street Watch is sick. Super hardcore direct action group, and I think they're affiliated with DSA LA in some capacity.
What's DSA? What's DSA LA? Sorry about that.
Democratic Socialists of America, LA, doing a lot of really good work on the ground here and taking care of our unhoused community in LA. We live in LA now.
Okay, hell yeah.
Half of us do, and yes, you know, it's right on our doorstep. You know, we have a lot of unhoused neighbors and people, especially this day and age, who need help. You know, there's a real serious economic crisis going on, and Street Watch is like really on the ground every day, like blocking sweeps, you know, blocking evictions, advocating for tenants and the rights of the unhoused around here, which is just, it's like super cool. They're like gnarly too. They'll like routinely end up in jail and
that's dope.
Yeah, so they're super sick and right in all of our yard. You know, it's like California thing. You know, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, totally. So how can people get involved if there's anybody listening that wanna dip their feet in?
Yeah, if you're in the LA area, you can always you can always volunteer with them. Also, I think they would just tell you, like, make sure you're checking in on your unhoused neighbors, making sure when it's hot, if people have water, making sure when it's cold, if like, you know, everyone's warm enough, and always broaching it respectfully, because you're coming into someone else's home when you're doing that, but just making sure you're taking care of the neighborhood, like wherever you're at. And then, you know, a little bit of supplies go like a long way. I think like $30 can supply like hygiene products for like 50 people or something like that. Like a very small amount of money goes very far in making sure people's like human rights are met.
100%. At Merton, we also shared this space with this group called Food Not Bombs. They're like this anarchist group that I know they have like a bunch of chapters all over the place, but they feed, you know, the houseless people in the community. And dude, they run off of like such little funding, but they're still able to like feed people at least twice a week, cook them hot meals, you know, make them packaged lunches, like whatever they can do. So yeah,
those guys are really great. We have them up here in Santa Cruz too. That's an awesome organization.
Yeah, hell yeah. Food Not Bombs is really sick. So if you're also looking for another group, as well, you can help out with like Food Not Bombs. I know they have an LA one too. So anyways, Street Watch LA, thanks again for telling our listeners about that. So I guess, what can you guys tell me about your project, GIL? Give us the big picture, bring us back to like your humble beginnings. How did GIL start? Were you involved in any previous projects before GIL? Like, how did you guys come together and just be like, okay, like this is what GIL's going to be?
Sean and I were playing music together in a different band before, and we would just play music on our own besides that. And we kind of just like stumbled into GIL in a sense.
Yeah, that's sick.
Around, we were just like messing around with recording stuff just off our computers, and it just came into something that we really liked, and shared it with a ton of friends.
Yeah,
none of them really liked it or understood the idea, but we were like, pretty into it, even though none of them liked it, and we just kind of kept it going. We showed Irfan and he was into it, so
yeah, that's dope.
That helped bring someone else in, some more ideas, a different instrument also.
Was there like a film thing that you got, like a little score or something that you guys were kind of starting to record for or something?
My friend, I like shared the recording with him that we made, which was like a minute long, and he was working on a movie, like a film for school.
Oh, really?
Wanted to, like, write the soundtracks for it, and so we started like working on more songs for it, and then he ended up never needing it, so we were just kind of left with this music that didn't really have any purpose anymore. And then we started kind of rewriting all of it to just turn it into something that we liked, wanted to do.
Yeah, and then when I came in, it was, still, the whole idea was still, I mean, we're still kind of like figuring out the true form of it all, I guess. But it was like I was playing synth at first, and I have like old Juno 106 that I was using and playing really like minimal synth. And I think all of us were really like trying to do like a less is more approach and really like have respect for the song and like the droney ambience of it. And, and we had a different drummer then, and now that Sage is in the band, it's really progressed a lot and gotten more of like, there's more of like a structured groove, and like I'm playing bass now instead of synth, and we're really like locking into some new like rhythms and stuff, which is really amazing. So recently you could tell it evolved a lot.
Yeah, that's really sick. Gabe, what do you play in the band as well?
Oh yeah, so Sean, Elise, and I, we like our bands would play together in college a lot. When I was living up in Berkeley, they would come up, and so we've been playing music together for a while. And then I was at that show that I think you were at too in Santa Barbara, where the bass amp caught on fire, and so I was in the crowd for that. And these guys have always been my favorite band. Always see what they're up to. And then a couple weeks ago, I got a call from Sean, so Irfan put down some really cool keys on one of the songs, and they're like, we kind of need to play it with the keys. Like it changed the song so much that they didn't want to play without it. And so Sean called me up and said, like, do you want to come down to LA for a couple weeks and learn the songs and come try to do this. And so I went down there and crashed on their couch for a couple weeks. It was like a week ago that I left.
Yeah, I love that, dude. That's sick. I think I saw a flyer or something that didn't have GIL that I saw you guys all playing on. So like, did you guys go by a different name or something before GIL?
Yeah, so we were in a band. I don't know what flyer you saw. There's like a couple of them. Irfan has a band called The Matter Baby. Okay. That like I was playing guitar in for a while, and like I'm playing some bass in now. But like that band used to play with like me and Elise's other band, Pinner, all the time.
Okay, I think Pinner was the one I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did like Pinner for like a while. I think like we did it like 2 years or something, and that's where we played with Gabe's old band, Beat Jesus, all the time.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of those bands in that kind of like Berkeley scene. And then Sarge plays in a different band called Somatic that like I used to do sound for. And I was like, oh, Sarge is an animal. He's the best drummer I know, and I was like, always in my head, I was like, oh, if I can get that dude to play some drums for our thing, like, I don't know, that would rule. And then I snared him in my trap and indoctrinated him into our cult.
That's dope.
So when
using black magic,
and
hexes and spells.
So dope. I know you mentioned like Berkeley and stuff. Did you guys play Calyx or anything? Were you guys part of like that group?
I actually know what that is because I went to UCSB.
Oh, you went to UCSB? Okay.
Yeah, go Gauchos. I graduated in 2019, and then we started playing Berkeley like after that, and Gabe went to Berkeley.
Okay, that's tight.
Yeah, I tried to get on the radio at Berkeley. I tried to be a part of Calyx, and I got in a fight with one of the old ladies that worked there.
Did you really?
And so they didn't. So they didn't let me be a DJ.
For context, Gabe had a radio show in Santa Cruz, and word on the street is that he got the radio station fined like tens of thousands of dollars by the FEC for playing like a bunch of psychic TV and like Throbbing Gristle.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
On the waves, and refused to cease or desist, and then was unceremoniously fired.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I would play a lot of they had I think it was when they're doing their like other band. Yeah, it was Psychic TV. It wasn't Throbbing Gristle. Yeah, they had some like weird sort of like cult thing.
Who did KCSB had a cult or the band?
No. This was like Psychic TV had this cult. And so I found all these like weird cult recordings online, and I had this like avant-garde program that I was doing.
Yeah.
And so like one one station or one program I had, I just played their like cult recordings.
Yeah.
And I was getting all these crazy calls from people. Like some people were like freaking out, like this is like you can't play this, and some people were like how do I join?
Wait, what? That's sick, dude. What were they?
Dude. Genesis P. Orage, rest in peace too.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Bonafide legend, dude.
Honestly, wait, so like, what was the cult of? What were they talking about in that music? Why were people freaking out?
I mean, it was just some really heavy. Really heady, cult stuff. I mean, it was years ago now, so I can't quite remember like what they were saying.
Yeah,
but it freaked people out for sure.
That's honestly so sick. I love that.
Yeah.
I've had a guy call in, and he said I was a disgrace to the airwaves one time at KCSB. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Me and my girlfriend, so we were subbing a show for our friend Miles, and his show, like the whole premise was that like, you know, he was like a cult leader or something like that, and basically like the show was like, you know, kind of like a cult broadcast, you know what I'm saying? But he made it really sick, so it was just like all these like sound collages and all this like really weird stuff going on, you know? So like I'm surprised that like if somebody got pissed at me, I'm surprised nobody got pissed at him. But anyways, so me and my girlfriend subbed, and we're like pretending to be like, you know, I was like, dude, let's just like mess around and kind of go along with the theme, you know? So I was pretending to be like a plumber that got like roped into like this French cult, and like my girlfriend like speaks French, so she was like speaking French, and I was kind of just like, you know, like what the hell is going on here, you know, just like messing around. I think there was like a broken guitar in the studio, so I was kind of just like strumming that thing and just like talking, and like it was like really bad. And anyways, some guy called in and was like, this is a disgrace to the airwaves. This is terrible programming. And I was just like, okay, dude.
I think you're doing something right.
Yeah, dude. And then because I was like pretending to be like a plumber or janitor or something like that, someone from the school faculty that I guess listens to the station all the time, that is like a custodian or something, called in and was like, we're called custodians, not janitors. This is like messed up to like our industry or something like that. Like,
yo, you cannot steal custodian valor.
Yeah, right. I know, dude. And I guess that's the day that I learned you cannot steal custodian valor. And he was all like threatening me, like, I know like the people that run your station, I'm gonna tell them to like take you off. I'm just like, bro, like I was just messing around. Like maybe this isn't for me. I should just do like my normal programming. Like, anyways, totally off topic, but that's funny.
No, that's amazing. I hope someone does that when the, you know, as the GIL set plays, someone calls in and says, this is terrible programming.
Someone calls in, they're like, I am not donating to your fund drive. Like, if anything, I would try and like get you kicked off air or something like that. So
or hopefully they want to join the cult, you know?
Right.
Or if they want to join the cult, dude, reach out to GIL on Instagram. What's your handle at KillGil?
Yeah, KillGil, but the I's are ones. So K1LLG1L.
Join the GIL cult and hit them up on Instagram if you dug that performance.
Join us and enjoy the bounties of eternal life.
So I believe that Sean mentioned you guys were like working on some new music, and I guess you guys kind of like mentioned that as well, bringing these other people in. So I guess, can you elaborate more on like what's in the oven, like what's different than you had before? I know you guys don't have like too many recordings out, but I think you said you were gonna drop like an album or something, like.
Right. So that's kind of, you hit the nail on the head there. We don't have many recordings out, and we've kept it like that for a reason, up until this point, because it's been such an amorphous project for so long. Again, starting off with like just some free noise stuff, like on some like the Dead Sea type thing, to like what it is now. And like not many people really know what it is now, including us. So with this like performance and then these recordings that we're coming out with, we're kind of like taking a real step in like defining what we're doing musically, and like taking that seriously and trying to understand like, you know, where we all want to go with it, and like how this sounds as a collaborative project, because it wasn't necessarily one to this level before we like found this lineup. So it's gonna be like probably a lot different than what sorry about the cat.
Nah, dude,
it's gonna be a lot different than what anyone's like seen us do live before, you know. If anyone's seen us live, you know, it's a lot of a lot of like loud shit and smokes. Sorry, pardon my language, but like smoking amps and stuff and whatever. It's kind of like a mess.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about where we're going. I think I can speak for all of us in that regard.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see what comes out of the new stuff you guys are working on. I thought your guys' like music was sick back then the one time I saw you, so I'm really excited to see where you guys go with it. So
yeah, we talk about that show in Santa Barbara a lot, and there's like, I think it was a pretty defining moment when we had some like real crowd engagement during some like newer heavy like breakdown-esque parts that we were introducing then, and
yeah,
since then we're kind of creating some more moments that are a little bit more like fun for like the crowd to like kind of rage around and like have a little more movement instead of just like, and then go back into some more droniness to like bring them down a little bit,
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess during like the really loud like droning stuff, well, first of all, I guess there was a really big crowd turnout to that show, which was absolutely sick for like what the lineup was. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was a little scattered all over the place. Thought it was tight. But my house members that were living upstairs were saying that like, they're like, yeah, whoever was playing like the really loud like droning stuff was like knocking stuff off of like their desks and stuff. It was
no way.
Yeah,
That's
it's sick.
Yeah.
They were like saying like, I would have like just noise shows. Like I'd always be like, yeah, screw you guys. I'm gonna keep having shows, like even if you guys are gonna like complain, like anyways, I feel like I was probably kind of a messed up roommate. But someone was like, I had a noise show one time, and they were like, yo, we never want like any like loud droning stuff ever again, because like that was like giving us anxiety upstairs. And I was like, never again. And then I have some bands that were doing it. It was sick. So anyways, are you guys gonna be putting out like tapes or like records or anything with this new release?
In the works for sure. Like there's definitely, we're gonna put out like this live performance for sure. And put it up and chop it up in some capacity so it's available to be listened to, and then probably just leave it there until we like get it to where it wants to be and through the right people and in the right places, and then come out the other side with something like fully formed that we're like ready to share in a more like substantial way with people outside of like our direct community, and like the homies and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's so dope. So I guess like moving on to, I know you guys mentioned you're like from LA now, or you guys moved to LA, but you were previously from Ojai, and I know you guys like started while you were in like the Ojai area. So growing up, I feel like there wasn't much going on in terms of like DIY from where I'm from, which is like Simi Valley. But other than what a few people were doing every now and then. So I like to ask this question because it varies so much by geographic region. And like I had Rob McGill on recently and he kind of answered this, but I'm curious to hear your guys' take on like what Ojai is and like what the scene was there when you guys were like, just starting and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit older than everyone, so like I got to experience some of Ojai's like glory hardcore days, which was like 2001 to 2004 at the Ojai Women's Center, where like a lot of amazing bands like American Nightmare and Terror, like
Bane.
Yeah, even like Converge I think came through at some point. And that was its own whole amazing scene that kind of put it on the map, like during early internet and stuff, where like hardcore was still a pretty underground thing, I would say.
Yeah.
And that kind of all faded away a little bit. And then now the whole town also has just changed in the last like 10 years, 20 years, like so much that like really marketed for a folk place. It's like there's a lot of like, artists that are like come there and kind of rebrand themselves as like folk artists or like this kind of country thing, and like move there specifically to like launch their musical career or something. Which is a little wild for us to think about because it's like we grew up there and there was just nothing for a while,
Yeah.
And like people come from outside of Ojai, hearing about Ojai and having this expectation of what they like believe it to be, and then they'll come to the town and instead of like participating in it for what it like truly is and what it's just like an incredibly beautiful thing, they like project what their idea of it onto the town and like terraform the town to their vision, you know what I mean, through like money and the connections and things that people from town don't really have, And the same logic applies in music. You know, people from out of town come here and then start these bands and then call themselves these Ojai bands, and then they'll be like in magazines as Ojai's favorite band or whatever, when it's just like not the case at all. You know? And like, they're like whack, and no one who's like grew up there, like is participating in music there, like even knows really any of them for the most part. And like there is this beautifully rich history of like music in Ojai that's been like people don't really know about, you know what I mean? Like the hardcore days and like Annihilation Time is like from Ojai, you know. It's like one of the most important bands ever. Like Charman is another Ojai band that like
shout out Charman, still killing it.
Truly incredibly important in like the scope of like music in California, and like especially the 805, you know. And then like, you know, you got like Voodoo Dawn and like Scott Scare, who's like Ojai affiliated, you know, and like just a bunch of weirdos like doing it really properly that kind of gets like, you know, over.
And definitely like these days Ojai kind of lacks a space that's like geared towards louder and heavier, because everything's kind of been like made like set up for more soft folk kind of rock stuff. And like the women's center is still there, and it's doable, but it gets pricey, and it's just been a while. Like Rock Miguel does like stuff there occasionally. I mean, obviously COVID, but like, you know, we're definitely a big part of the 805, which is like the real scene too, which is
100%.
You know, I mean, Ventura, Oxnard, Santa Barbara, it's like with like everyone plays together. So it's kind of like, I don't know, that's a big part of like, at least the underground kind of heavy rock scene or whatever. It's like, we all kind of, there's only so many bands within that area. So we all kind of like join forces or something.
Yeah, like that's really cool. I know Rob was telling me too that like, you know, the women's center can get kind of like pricey and stuff, and like he can't always do it if like the band's not guaranteed to you know, bring a crowd and like make money and stuff like that, which like I feel like it shouldn't be about, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the golden age of just like rock, I always hear about like, or like punk and hardcore and stuff like that. I always hear, you know, Ojai, like, yeah, dude, like, you know, Ojai hardcore and like stuff like that. I'm not too familiar with the total scene, but I know everybody like mentions, you know, Ojai, that it was like on the map and stuff. So did this like influence your creativity in any way?
Absolutely. I mean, a huge shout out to Graham Kleiss, who is like the guitarist and kind of founding member of Annihilation Time, and
the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, we had like, you know, he worked actually at the local skate park, and he would just share all these amazing records. Like he had all this insane like 80s hardcore that it was so wild to even get, and like at such a young age. Definitely like sculpted my life for sure. And then I'm doing my best to share that with like, you know, some of this younger generation and whatnot.
Yeah.
really keep it alive, because it's something that you can just see is dying within the town, and it's just such an important thing. And it also goes back, like, I mean, kind of like a weird canceled person at this point, but Terry Richardson, the photographer, is also from Ojai, and like,
oh really?
Yeah, he had like a book from of photos from the 80s that's like out of print, but it's like a lot of these barn shows and stuff that we were doing, and like a really similar culture, but like 82, like first era of hardcore kind of, which was really interesting to see, like even just photos and like hearing about their weird little punk crews and stuff back then. It was just like, it seems like something that has been alive in multiple generations within that small town.
You mentioned like the barn. Was it called like the Red Barn or something? I know I've heard people. I was talking to some.
I mean, there's been a few barns that there's been shows at.
Oh,
you
really?
know, throughout history. I don't know if there is like a specific barn in Ojai, and we're all kind of barns, you know. In Ojai,
yeah. I was at Warbler Records one day, you know, and I think I saw that Charman was gonna come up to Santa Barbara and play a show, and it was like right around the time when like I was digging deep into like Weird Cry Records. I was getting more into like, you know, local music and stuff like that, and I saw that he like put out some like old Charman recordings, and I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, and I forget, I got into a conversation with the guy at Warbler, and I was talking about Charman. He's like, dude, I used to go and see them in like a barn or something all the time, and you know, something like that.
Yeah, barn culture is huge, like, because, you know, lack of venues in town makes you kind of create your own spaces, and that was definitely a part of it. Is just like, you know, now we're even trying to go farther. We're talking about going like way out with generators and trying to do some stuff, you know. Occasionally there's some shows that happen out in the mountains around town and stuff.
Dude, that's sick. That's super sick, actually. Yeah, don't know if you want to talk about that on air.
I
Don't
just
want to
got to
burn
say,
that out, but
Charman's my brothers, and they're like also like my biggest influences in my life, and they're my favorite dudes ever, and just gotta say what up to them if they watch this.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Shout out,
Yeah.
Charman. I think I saw that they did a performance with like Ventura Theater or something like that recently.
Totally. Yeah, with Dead Heat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dead
with Dead
Heat.
Heat, so crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was a real fun thing. I was fortunate enough to be a part of like just the day of the event, and it was
Yeah.
like so amazing to be in the Ventura Theater and just like walk around all the like backstage area. Like, what an amazing space! Like,
Yeah, dude, that place is like legendary for sure. I really hope they like make it through COVID so we can see some more shows there.
yeah, I believe it's a Live Nation space, so it should be
it'll
surviving.
live. It'll be alive then. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was corporate like that, but that's cool, I guess. Yeah, when I saw Charman in Santa Barbara, it was a bunch of like really like, and not really old, but it was a bunch of like say like late 30-year-olds getting like really drunk, and I was just like, dude, hell yeah, this is so sick.
Yeah. When they play Ojai, it's the most wild day of the year by far. Like,
yeah.
Usually at the Deer Lodge, which is like the oldest bar in town, and it's
the Lodge, dude, it was the best.
Yeah.
The Lodge was like the sickest of all time. Like, it was like the best venue to play as an artist, like forever, because you get 100% of the door, and everyone would get like a drink and food tab, so you could like eat there, you could drink there, and you get paid out the whole door fee. And there was a sound tech, and it was like,
dude, that is sick.
It was our super good friend Claire who like booked it, and then I was she hired me as the sound tech there for a while. And there was just like the sickest shows would go down there. When Charman played, it'd be like 300, 400 people.
Oh my
like,
God, that's insane.
The entire town would be there, and the cops would always be coming and like fighting with bouncers out front. And like the sickest bouncer in the world worked there. The man Jeff, dude.
Yeah.
The absolute homie Jeff.
Shout out Jeff, dude. That's sick.
And Taylor Hellawell on the bar, dude.
Yeah, Monica for sure.
Shout out Monica. The Lodge scene was just the coolest thing in the world, and then it got completely blown because this lady came and rented a house up the street from a bar that has been around since 1930.
Oh my God.
That has had music since 1930 in Ojai. She is renting this house a quarter mile away and just complains about the noise every night, and like would call the cops on us like constantly. It's like a venue.
Oh my God, that is so annoying.
They couldn't afford to keep doing it, and like the management was super. The people who like owned the spot or whatever, like changed hands one time, was super like poorly managed, like on the business side of things.
Yeah.
And so they like pulled all the sound equipment, fired everybody.
Oh my God, that is so messed up, dude.
Now it's finished out. Now it's like all Barney, for lack of a better term.
Dude, that is such a bummer. I think Out West was telling me about playing a show there with you or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When was that scene happening? Like, when did all this happen? You know, that you were, sound tech when it was like, still going pretty alive and well. When did that person move in?
It was like a sick era, that like 2018 through like
till like COVID.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, really?
It was like 2 years. It was like this really sick thing that was like super alive, just because there's a bunch of bands in Ojai again, and all of a sudden like us and all of our friends had like a bunch of bands, and so we were getting a bunch of bands, and Claire was booking sick bands all the time.
And like they would deal with the cops for a while, and then like I believe what I heard was like Ojai passed a law that you have to pay to get a venue permit if you have any live music, which is like $20,000 a year.
What?
And then the Deer Lodge was just like, we're not going to pay that, so that's why they sold their equipment. Which is just a horrifying thing. Like, I don't know, it's just.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is the type of stuff I want to hear about the Ojai scene. I just want to hear how it's just getting trashed on.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we're kind of like, in LA.
I'm packing up. I'm going to LA where we can actually have live gigs at some point.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, and there's a community for this type of music here.
Totally.
I mean, at the 805 as well, but it's still like just tough to really get launched. And like we want to try to get down like below the border. Like a lot of the music, like the lyrics are in Spanish and stuff, and it's really an important thing to kind of be heading that way as opposed to doing maybe the normal routes that bands take, you know, like.
Yeah. Hey, well, you guys are going to be aired on NetNet Radio, which is based out of Tijuana. So.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
There it is. You know, oh, what was I going to say? Oh, something about Greater Goods. So how are they living? Like, are they cool? Are they part of like that gentrifying Ojai type deal?
I mean, Vaughn's a cool guy. He's
Vaughn's
like
roots.
Yeah, he's roots. It's like they're trying to keep it all alive, and that's more of a space for like anyone and everyone. So it's like, you know, there's like older heads in there like making weird like craft type stuff, you know, and like through COVID, you know, they were allowing like some local bands to use it as kind of like a rehearsal space, which is really awesome. But I know as of recently, they had been like kind of struggling, and we're looking for some different options just to keep the space alive, like trying to get someone in there for more of a long-term rental.
Yeah. But Greater Goods was sick, dude. Like, Vaughn does a lot to like, you know, like really keep it like community driven and stuff, and like that's like kind of the only legitimate space I can think of that's like a kind of a public use situation where like people can go play music and like be, you know, involved and like have a practice space and whatever, you know. It's always really accommodating, like, and really a community like centric dude, which is super cool. And he got like gets like sick people to play. Like we saw like Juan Waters like played in Greater Goods.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, our yard, like it was the most insane like intimate experience like ever, and like Chris Cohen played there, and like
I went to that Chris Cohen show. That was insane. With like Dear Nora and stuff. I was like, dude, how is this even happening in like the 805 right now? Like how is this not like if any place this was gonna happen, it'd be at Ventura Theater. But like it's sick that it's happening like in Ojai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then he allowed us to play, you know, which was really cool. Like that he's willing. Like we gave him a lot of forewarning because the Greater Good space is like kind of tucked in a neighborhood essentially. Like their back wall is like someone's house pretty much. So like when we played, it was pretty amazing. Like the cops showed up at like 9 o'clock, and like the sound ordinance starts at 10, so they were kind of like confused. But it was just like, I mean, the whole building was shaking, so it was kind of like we had to stop. But like it was still too early for them to really legally stop us.
We played 2 songs, I think, and then they're just like, "This is insane! Like, what is going on? Like, it can't happen here." But Vaughn was mad cool. I told him, I was like, "Dude,
we
like,
warned him.
I can come, like whatever," and he was like, "Nah, like do your thing."
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm glad to see that like Greater Goods is actually like, you know, super chill, because I like wasn't really sure after a while, like, is this like part of like that like, you know, Ojai gentrification scene, or like is this sick? Like, so that's cool to see that we stand Greater Goods.
Yeah, they support people, and they raised a lot of like money and brought a lot of things together after the Thomas fire, which was like super huge. And like it was really amazing to see like that space really come alive and support so many people.
And they have like families in the communities too, like their kids do like junior lifeguards in Ventura and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like they're like all really involved in like proper 805 kind of like community things, like junior lifeguards and stuff. That's actually how I met Sage too. Junior lifeguards.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh hell
Sage,
yeah.
About Ventura a little bit, or Pierpont, you know, that's like definitely an important thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, lately Ojai has gotten a reputation that's pretty well outlined by that page Small Time Citrus on Instagram. I know you guys have already kind of like mentioned, you know, Ojai being like taken over by this like specific type of people, but do you guys want to like elaborate on like Small Time Citrus, tell people what this is, like kind of go more in depth on like what's becoming of like Ojai? I don't know.
Dude, Small Time Citrus is an op. It's a psyop. There's a war on for your mind right now, and you better think long and hard about what side of this war Small Time Citrus is on. You know, that's all I gotta say. No, for real though, Fulton Street forever. That's like, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point. Like, that's our good friend.
Yeah.
And like my neighbor, like grew up. It's like family shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like that gentrification, you know, it's a problem like everywhere. You know, I mean, I like in LA, everywhere. It's like there's like communities, because it's like this new type of like tech person or something that's like, it's like a, you know, it's just kind of cultureless or something. But Ojai is like a special place because it can't grow because it's like contained by the valley walls or whatever. So it's like you can really see all these changes happening and this big divide happening within the town. Everything's getting just outrageously expensive, and it's, you know, it's like you, just because it's contained, you can really just see it happening in like real time or whatever. And it's pretty, it's like kind of, I mean, it's inevitable, so it's a little heartbreaking, and there's not much you can do to counteract it when it's like you go on these other, like, all these travel sites are like top destination.
Travel to Ojai. Go. You want to
like
post-COVID
article on it and stuff.
Did the New York Times really? Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
What? I've seen these like smaller ones that, you know, this is an issue in like Santa Barbara as well. I feel like Santa Barbara has always been kind of touristy, but like, you know, there's all these articles coming out that are like, plan your post-COVID getaway, go to Ojai, go to Santa Barbara, you know, have like...
Yeah, and like you were saying with how populated Ventura is seeming, it's definitely like COVID, and a lot of LA people are like especially when they shut down like the beaches and the parks in Los Angeles, like Ojai got overrun, and like they trashed it. Like it was horrifying. Like they had to like literally close down like the trails to like everyone, because they were just getting ruined by people. Like they're just leaving so much garbage.
That is so sad. Recently, you know, I can kind of like attest to this too. I was telling my friends, we went to Piedra Blanca to go backpacking, and I've been like backpacking there since I was like a young kid, just like going to like, you know, Sespe Hot Springs and stuff like that. Dude, so much trash I've ever seen in my life there. You know, and me and my friends were like, let's just do like a quick little overnight. Like, let's just stay at the first camp, like 3 miles in. Dude, so much trash there. I was like, this is messed up. Like, this is like, I don't even feel like I'm like in the wilderness or anything anymore. Like, this just feels like, you know, a city park or something, you know?
Totally. It's like the punch bowls, which are just covered in like graffiti now. It's
yes,
like,
dude.
Yeah. Elise can talk about this. Elise is a naturalist and a plant genius.
So what's going down, Elise?
Yeah, I don't know. There aren't that many people that are working for, like, the Ojai Valley Land Conservancy kind of takes care of a lot of those trails, especially in surrounding Ojai. And they don't have like that much funding all the time. There's only a few employees that are actually working on the trails, and it's just a lot to kind of keep up with, to have so much traffic going through. And a ton of people that are from out of town that don't really know what role the Land Conservancy plays. And they're not contributing, they're not paying for those trails really. So it's kind of hard to bring someone else in to come clean that stuff up. And there's just like a lack of awareness of how to treat the environment from a lot of those people that are just coming from LA or wherever to just use the trails for a day.
There really isn't a way to like educate these people, and I feel like that's kind of like what like the big issue is too. Like, you know, I had some guy like walking through, and you know, he's just like, you guys see a couple what's it called, Michelob Ultra or something like that? What's that beer? Have you guys seen a couple like Michelob Ultra cans around here? And I'm just like, dude, who the hell are you, bro? Like, what? Literally just like chilling, dude. I'm like just chilling, you know, like, you know, next to like where the fire pit is or whatever, you know. You guys seen a couple Michelob Ultra cans over here? And I'm just like, dude, what the hell, man? Like,
you're drinking Michelob Ultra. That's insane. That's a police officer.
I was like, what the dude.
The only way to teach these people is a little tried and true method called re-education through labor.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, they should do some crew duty and go.
They
like,
honestly should
out
though.
A trail and
get
like,
on trail maintenance, bud. Go build some bike jumps.
They honestly should, bro. Like, have these people go and like, here, cut your own trail. Use this one. You can like litter and stuff. Like, I don't know. leave
at your house.
The punishment for littering should be you have to go build like a really nice set of bike jumps for like the kids.
Yeah, right.
Like, dig that shit in the dirt. Oh, sorry, pardon my language.
You're good.
Honestly,
get in the dirt,
like
build some jumps, pack that down with the shovel, get the hose out there, get those kids in the air.
I thought like one funny thing when I was back there though, someone brought back like one of those like hospital toilet seats. What's it called? Like, you know, those like things where it's just like a frame of like a chair with like a toilet seat on it with like nothing underneath it. And that was just like back there, and I was like, okay, this is kind of funny actually. Like this is You know, it's still litter.
Pack it in, pack it out.
Pack it in, pack it out. Like, if you're gonna carry that thing in, don't leave it there. At least take it out. But it was kind of funny to just walk back behind some rock and just see that there. I'm just like, okay, that was kind of good.
That might be art, you know.
Exactly. I was like, okay, you know,
the city put that there.
The city put that there, dude. They're making the trails more handicap accessible, I guess, which I guess is cool. I don't know. Can't squat, just sit.
Elevator.
Yeah, right.
I'm hiking, but you know, my legs don't work. Get me on the elevator.
An elevator, bring you all the way back to the CSB, dude. 15-mile elevator.
Yeah. Dope.
So anyways, yeah, it's sad to see that, you know, this is happening to Ojai, but hopefully post-COVID we'll still see some hardcore and stuff going down there. Hopefully we'll still see sort of a scene. Hopefully you guys will come back and keep it real, you know, maybe just for a couple shows or something.
Always keep it roots. You know, never forget.
Yeah, keep it roots. So anyways, I guess we're gonna go into some like fan questions that we got. Cool. Hey, you guys ready for this? Yeah, let me pull up my Instagram, see if we got any more. Oh, dude, we did get some more. Hell yeah, hyped. So anyways, the people from 805 Revolt podcast want to hear your thoughts on rumors of CIA involvement in the closure of Ojai's Wendy's franchise.
Well, Wendy,
R.I.P. dude.
Yeah, Wendy's was incredibly roots. The spicy chicken nuggets were amazing. They got recalled though, and they took the spicy chicken nuggets away, but they left the spicy chicken sandwich. But the nuggets are way better than the sandwich. So that's when I think there started to be some outside involvement in terms of using the Ojai Wendy's as a hub for smuggling, you know, goods and, you know, foreign currencies out.
A lot of big hats came through there.
Yeah. The CIA is involved with the big hat racket. They put big hats and sundresses out onto our streets, you know, and then they blame us for, like, you know, consuming the hats and the dresses, you know. But like,
I heard a lot of it's AI too. Like, there are a lot of bots that come to Ojai wear these big hats, you know. I think that might have to do with that.
The vaccine's not micro.
Starbucks too, so we're gonna have like 3 Starbucks.
Oh my god, bro, it's not the
everything Starbucks. And big shout out to 805 and Revolt podcast. That's like, you know, that's mandatory listening for sure. If you're from Ojai, you definitely know the homies, and it's a wonderful pod. Honestly, it's brilliantly done, you know. And
shout out
to 805 and Revolt.
Yeah, so shout out 805 and Revolt. I was listening to their most recent podcast this morning, actually, because they commented that, and I've been meaning to check it out. And I was like, dude, might as well listen to this while I'm, you know, getting ready for this. I was listening. They were talking about being a Sigma male or something like that, rather than alpha male. What's your take on that, dude? You guys consider yourself Sigma males or alpha males?
Dude.
A little beyond me, I think.
I don't know if I'm the only one who's qualified to like answer this question, but yeah, I think a lot about this. The Sigma male is a made up concept that is perpetuated by beta males with beards. Right? Everyone knows that life is black and white. It breaks down to 1, 2, 1, 0, baby. It's all a computer program. And so the fact of the matter is there's only 2 sides to everything. There's only black, there's only white, there's only good, there's only evil. There are only alphas and betas, you know. Yeah. Everyone really knows that.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the whole thing. Don't look into it, you know. There's no gray area.
That was good. Sage, I'm gonna bring you into this conversation right now. What's your take?
I have no idea, dude.
Sage, are you an alpha or a beta?
Are you an alpha or a beta, or a sigma or beta, whatever?
I think I'm a sigma, probably.
Hey, hell yeah, dude. And Gabe?
Yeah.
I would say
what is a sigma exactly?
We need to just get the 805 people, 805 and Revolt people on the show so they can tell us exactly, but I kind of forgot.
Yeah. Also, shout out 805 and Revolt. Recall Gavin Newsom.
Hey, hell yeah.
Greasy Gavin, baby.
Greasy Gavin. So there's another question that they're talking about on their podcast. So you know, that one was for the fellas. So, you know, I think they were saying that, like, you know, the ladies can listen, but this one's specifically for the fellas. So I guess, fellas, is it gay to buy a box spring for your mattress?
Whoa, dude. Well, if you don't have a box spring, you have tons of storage. So that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, unless your mattress is on the floor.
I don't have a box spring on my mattress.
I don't have a box. Yeah.
So I would say like, no, but power to you, like whatever you're trying to do. At least, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see the reason for a box spring.
Yeah, why do they exist, really? I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're specifically for those like metal bed frames, where there's just like nothing underneath it. It's kind of just the metal. If you don't have that, your mattress is gonna fall through, I think. I don't know. I have one. I jumped on that thing the other day. I broke it. I'm thick, but so you just go with a mattress. You break your box spring if you're thick.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. Sage, Gabe.
Never heard of a box spring.
That's how.
It's memory foam only, dude. It's a new generation.
That's so.
Yeah,
good.
I just sleep on a pile of clothes. So yeah, not even a mattress over here.
Hey, shout out, hell yeah, dude. So I guess another one, weighted blankets. They're talking about. Anybody thoughts on weighted blankets? I don't even know what a weighted blanket is.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be extremely lonely to need something like that, I think.
I just don't know why you put like lead on you when you sleep.
Is it lead?
No, it's like the ones you put on when you get like at the dentist. That's what.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a tinfoil hat for your body.
That's good.
Weighted blankets is you're not affected by 5G if you're under them because they're made of lead.
And you already know Ojai is going to be one of the first places that they're going to put, 5G because of, all the gentrification. So you're going to need your weighted blanket there.
We're getting Starlink, baby.
Oh, hell yeah,
dude. Skipping a step. Hurdling.
Skipping a step, going straight to Starlink, dude.
You got to get that Netflix, baby.
True, dude.
I can zoom from the CSB, dude. It's truly separating, your your source of income from your place of residency. Let's just disconnect that. That's a good idea.
So anyways, here's another one. This is from another person, Dr. Scholes. It is on Instagram. So is your outward image necessary for making capital G good art?
Wow.
Capital G good art, not just good art, capital G.
Yeah, Gabe.
Wait, what does Gabe have to say about
that? I would say it's all about image. Image comes first and music is second. That's a GIL's motto.
Hell yeah, guys. I think you're pulling it off. You guys look sick. That band photo, there it is, the image. Dude, the music's already going to be good.
Absolutely. It's the age of PR, it's like.
Exactly, dude.
If you have good PR, honestly, you could like sell poop and people would buy it.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
I mean, the image is that's just like, it's super cool and we're like mad cool, and that's like, at the end of the day, that's just like what it is. Is it really an image if it's just like
not cool?
What you exude naturally?
Yeah, no, dude, you guys got to look cool for all the people that are going to be using their Starlink and the CSB. Those are going to be the ones that go to your show, consume your music. True. Maybe.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, 110. The music for the future. I want Elon to get into it, and then collab with Grimes and then we go to Mars. I'm out.
Yeah. I'm on the way to Mars for sure. But not.
It's gonna come out on SpaceX Records.
SpaceX Records, dude. That's so good, dude. It's gonna be what did NASA put like one of those like records up there in space made out of like gold or something like that, dude? The second one in space is just gonna be GIL.
Yeah.
The aliens are gonna find it and they're gonna figure out how to play a record somehow, and it's gonna be GIL thanks to SpaceX.
Develop that technology specifically.
There's going to be like some like alien archaeologists or something like that are going to be like, deciphering this, and they're going to be like, this is what humans did in 2021. This is what human culture was. So anyway, harsh choice. So another one from Morpheus by the Seashorpheus said, they're asking, what does barn mean?
Well, okay, I got this one. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure now, like, this might not be totally accurate, but from my experience on the Earth, you know, like growing up in Ojai, I was hearing this term barn a lot, and I didn't really get it. Like, you know, it's kind of like uncool or something, but I think it comes from back when at these port towns, when there was these sailors coming into town, and there was like the farmers that worked on the lands. Like in sailor culture, like a farmer is kind of the same thing as a barn. It's like someone who just isn't like comfortable in the water, you know? So, yeah. So they're just like farmers, you know, like the sailors will be like, oh, they're just a bunch of farmers because they just like don't know how to run a boat or like be with the ocean. And I think that just evolved into barns, like even more like stationary and like disconnected from like the ocean culture. Because, you know, there's a big surfing community in Ojai too, and like barn definitely is a surf thing. So it's like
like barney, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Sage, what do you think about that?
Me?
Yeah, Sage is a surfer.
I remember hearing it in Ventura in the surf community when people just be like kooks or whatever. It's like the same thing, I think, as kook.
Totally.
It's yeah, for sure.
I mean, you should check out the movie North Shore. It's like an 80s movie about this kid from Arizona who moves to Hawaii.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They kind of talk about what a barn is in that movie a little bit. It's basically like,
he is a barn.
He is a barn, and then he becomes less of a barn by the end of the movie.
So a barn. So you just call someone a barn, like, dude, that's a bunch of barns over there. You know, like, is that how? So
barn,
like all those big-headed barns that are trashing our trails.
Right. But we're all barns too, though. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing about like being a barn. It's also like.
Yeah, I barned it last night making pizza. Like I like put a bunch of holes in pizzas and I just barned it.
Yeah. Anyone has the potential to like barn it. We waste 5 doughs last night.
Wait, so I saw this too on Instagram. Sorry, this is totally off topic from like the fan questions, but you guys are making pizza too. I think I saw on Instagram.
Yeah.
So you guys like selling them or what?
Yeah, my buddy Kevin Hawken hit me up during the pandemic, and we started this thing called Side Pie. You should check it out on the Instagram. It's at @sidepie_, and we're doing amazing pizza out of his side yard. We actually had our like last session out of his house yesterday, and we were gone for like 6 months last year, and then we got shut down by the city of Altadena, I guess, in Los Angeles. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I've been making pizza for like 10 years, and it's it's like a passion and a hobby and what gives me money.
Yeah. Yeah, respect. That's sick. So it's called Side Yard Pizza?
Side Pie.
Side Pie. So check out Side Pie, Side Pie Pizza. It looks like you guys are having a great time from what I saw on like the, consuming the media. You know what I'm saying? You guys are making the image look good.
We have the most fun, and we got a little write-up in the New York Times recently.
Oh, really? Dude, that's insane.
Totally.
Hell yeah.
Illegal pizza culture,
Yeah, pizza's about like skateboarding and like Ninja Turtles and like illicit things that should be like illicit,
Yeah, right.
It tastes better.
Yeah, I was in New York for like 8 years, and there's like this culture out there of like the neighborhood pizzeria, and like it's so cool. Like I got so much respect for that world.
That's so sick. I don't have any like experience in like the neighborhood kind of pizzeria thing, but early pandemic, I learned how to toss a dough.
Oh yeah, that's the motion. There you go.
And then driving the bus, you know what I'm saying? Like to flatten out to round out the dough ball or something like that. I work.
You should see Sean now, dude's ripping on the dough.
Gotta slap him out, baby.
Hey, hell yeah, dude! I worked at Woodstocks in IV. If you're familiar, yeah, dude. I never thought their pizza was very good, but I needed a job, and they hired me as a driver, and they were like telling me to talk, like, all right, so you're gonna have to actually learn how to make the pizza now, and I was like, wow, dude, it was so hard. Like, they're like, all right, now toss it, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna drop this thing in like the sauce or something,
Yeah.
It was
it's
cool,
a weird like thing. Like nothing is really like stretching dough. Like it's a weird feel and skill that you can't really. There's not too much that's like that,
Yeah, dude, and it's honestly sick, dude. Like now people are like, yo, toss the dough whenever we're like making homemade pizza or something. I'm like, yeah, I got this, dude. I worked at a pizza joint. Like I can do this.
Respect for that.
I can make it the pizza. No problem.
Yeah. So I guess we have one more fan question. You guys ready for it? It's the last one. I guess this one's specifically for Sean, but I mean, if everybody wants to chime in. So, Peter Lombardo asks, what does Sean have against playing in drop D?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good question. It's cheating. It's only one thing to say about that. It's cheating. Do it the right way. Tune down all your strings. If you want to chug, that's sick. Tune a whole step down.
Yeah.
Put some third strings on your guitar. Stop being a baby. Just play guitar.
There it is, Peter Lombardo.
Sage has thoughts on drop D though too.
Let's go, Sage.
I mean, some of the greats did play drop D, like Neil Young and Elliott Smith and all those guys, but I don't know. I mean, it sounds like innately heavy, but it is cheating in a way too. I totally see that for sure.
Yeah. Gabe?
I don't know. I mean, there's something like a power chord on drop D looks like really tacky compared to just like a power chord with like 3 fingers on standard, you know?
Mm-hmm. Good answer.
And it's all about looking cool.
It's all about looking cool. That's at the end of the day. Like, I mean, like, what's like, you know, the heaviest band in the world? Probably like Power Trip or something. Like truly, you know.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the heaviest music, and they play in E standard.
What is heavy?
What is heavy? Yeah, I mean, that's the truest question.
Gabe, do you have thoughts on like what makes music heavy?
Well, back to the drop D, I was gonna say, one of the first songs I learned was "Killing the Name of" Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And that's in drop D. So yeah, Tom Morello, "Arm the Homeless," matter for drop D.
Hell yeah. So there it is, Peter Lombardo. That's why that's Gil's take on drop D, more than just Sean, but that's Gil's take. So I actually have one more question, guys. This one's kind of the hardest one of the entire thing. Are you guys ready for it?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sage, you ready?
I'm ready.
Gabe?
One sec.
Okay.
He's ready.
Okay, I'm ready now.
Okay. A rat is going to jump into your mouth. Do you want this rat to jump into your mouth head first? Or do you want this rat to jump into your mouth butt first? And why?
Oh, dude.
It's hard, right?
Sarge, go for it.
I've always been, well, I'm probably going to say butt first because, I don't know. That's just my preference, you know? I'm all about that.
You're into butt stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, what would Ozzy do? And I think he'd go head first and just try to take the head off.
Just
like,
clamp down on that thing?
Yeah, like that's probably, you know, gotta like respect the gods, you know?
Yeah, respect them. That's heavy music right there.
That's heavy music.
That's heavy. You're only heavy if you bite the heads off of animals.
Definitely head first for me, for sure, because that way it's gonna be like far easier for it to like slide down my throat, you know, into my stomach.
You're just gonna take the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that the rat's jumping into your mouth and you are subsequently eating it.
Yeah, dude.
So I appreciate the head, and then you like slurp up the tail like a little piece of spaghetti. All cool.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. You saved the best for last, dude. The tail is the best for last.
Tail's gonna get stuck though. It's gonna get stuck, and then I don't know. I would go tail first because then you can swallow it, kind of like just like make a little ball out of it.
Yeah.
And then just eat it like a snake. You know,
Ooh.
just gulps down.
I'm just trying to imagine this rat jumping backwards with its tail into the mouth. Like it would be such an interesting like.
It's like Tenet, dude.
Yeah.
That happened in
We might
Tenet.
have to like
so
make
cool.
this as like a 3D model and just like maybe send it to MythBusters, make sure it can even happen.
Yeah, dude, we'll have to get the physics behind it. But I was thinking too, you know that episode of like Ratatouille where they're all inside that house? You know what I'm saying? And they're like falling down and he's like holding on. He doesn't want to fall off the rafters. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Thought about this, and then he like falls. And you're like looking, and you're like, oh my god,
funny.
and then just,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Very, I mean, okay. Yeah, still head first, I think.
Yeah. I can respect that. I think we have 2 more people that got to answer.
I also head first. I feel like it'd slide down easier that way.
Yeah. So you're gonna take the whole thing too. This is interesting. I've never had people like say they're actually gonna take the whole rat. This is dope. Yeah, I dig this. This is different.
We routinely eat rats. We're from Ojai.
We were gonna eat one last night, actually.
Yeah, we tried to get one, put it on a pizza.
Yeah, I was gonna say you put like rat pepperoni on the pizza or something. Rat sausage.
That's real.
Yeah, some rat tails.
Mamma mia.
Chef's kiss.
Italiano.
I think that's about it, guys. I think that's all we have for the interview. Oh wait, hold on. Where can people keep up with your projects? And like, are there any last remarks you guys want to put into the airwaves or archives?
KillGil on Instagram, K1LLG1L. gil1.bandcamp.com, and yeah, new stuff soon.
Yeah, this year we got a lot of plans, so you know, we're gonna try to get into a pretty legit studio hopefully before like spring summertime.
Heck yeah,
actually properly recorded for everyone.
Stoked for that. You know, you want to shout out your pizza business one more time?
Yeah, sidepie _ on the Instagram, sidepie.com.
Check
Kevin
it out.
and Rosanna, if you see this, what's up? Frankie, Sasha, Lillian, Jared,
the boys,
the whole crew.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then if y'all like journalism and that kind of thing, you can head over to thecollection.com for a lot of good stuff. Me and Gabe have written a lot about, like, we were in a lot of protests and stuff this summer. We were in Seattle and Portland and Kenosha and all over the place. So if you want to keep up with that kind of stuff, it's all over on thecollection.com and then various other platforms that you'll find around.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Thank you for this. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
fun.
Yeah, dude. Thank you.
805.
Shout out KCSB.
Shout out KCSB. I guess this is a good time to shout out KCSB's fund drive one more time. So for anybody listening on this live stream or on the radio or in Tijuana, you know, KCSB's fund drive, donate. KCSB wouldn't be the same, or I mean TBD wouldn't be the same if I didn't have KCSB. Probably wouldn't be a thing. I wouldn't know GIL without KCSB. Or the friends that I met that booked GIL, you know, I wouldn't have been living in Santa Barbara. All that stuff, dude. If it wasn't for KCSB, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. KCSB changed my life. Donate, kcsb.org. Get some cool stuff in return. Keep community radio alive. KCSB, 60 years of people-powered radio. And anyways, I think that's about all we have for the show. Thanks for tuning in. TBD, KCSB FM every Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. and NetNet Radio every Saturday, 8 p.m. out of Tijuana. This is GIL from many places, now LA for the most part, and then someone's in Santa Cruz and one person is in Ventura. Thanks for being on the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.